Hey guys, it's Daniel, and I had a topic in mind for the show today, but as many of you have heard, Apple's CEO and founder Steve Jobs passed away last night. And so I wanted to just give some thoughts on that instead. I apologize for the randomness of this gameplay, but I just kind of cranked something out so that I'd have a plate to talk over. I'll say the first thing about Steve Jobs' death is that it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. Being as that I've never met Steve Jobs, I've never even been in the same room as him. Generally when, a celebrity or somebody famous dies, I really don't care. It doesn't affect me. But I think you'd have to basically live in a cave to say that Steve Jobs' death didn't affect you. That's one of the unique things about who he was, is that he had a immeasurable influence on almost all of our lives, if you use a computer at all. I mean, we're talking about the man who decided that a mouse was a good computing tool, and everybody told him he was crazy. This is a fad, it's not going to pick up. The mouse. How many times do you click a mouse every day? And I guess that's the main thing that's bothering me about this whole thing, is that people have been saying all day he's the father of the iPod, or he's led the Apple revolution, or a creator of the iPhone. But to me, it's much more than that. He didn't just father the Apple revolution. He was one of the fathers of the computer revolution. I mean, you can't go anywhere. You can't take a step or blink your eyes without seeing some form of Apple-influenced technology. And sorry for all you guys out there that are Android guys or PC guys and think that Steve Jobs didn't have anything to do with you or your technology. Think again. Android is great. I myself use an HTC Evo, and this device would not exist without the iPhone. It just wouldn't. Windows 7's great, but guess what? It had a different name when it was Apple OS X Tiger. So it's just that I think his influence is so much more than anybody's giving him credit for right now, and that has yet to be seen. We're not going to really know for the next maybe even 5 to 10 years just how important he was to the computing industry and to technology as a whole. But I just feel like a lot of news outlets and a lot of content creators aren't really giving him his due. And I'm not an Apple fanatic. This isn't coming from somebody who's a Apple cultist. I'm editing this right now on a PC running Adobe Premiere. I use a HTC Evo, as I just mentioned. I'm far from an Apple cultist or an Apple devotionist, but Steve Jobs' death is something that does affect us all, and he may not have been the greatest guy in the world from some people's perspective, but in what he did in his career, he was great. And so I'll leave you guys today with a quote from Mr. Jobs himself. "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify them, or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do." Rest in peace, Steve. I, for one, will miss you, and we'll see you on the other side. I'll catch you guys later.